Hi, this is moreLearn Morrison, here to tell you Geico has more than just great savings. Much more. Yes, while Geico could help you rack up more moolah faster than you can say metamorphosis, they've also been the fastest growing auto insurer for more than 10 years. That's more like it. Furthermore, Geico has fast and friendly claim service. That might seem like an oxymoron, but it's not. All the more reason to say no other auto insurer has more than Geico. Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
We are the New York Knicks. I'm back in New York. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks taking no shorts, it's like winter.
New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, it's the New York Knicks Podcast, episode 339. I am Jay, and with me is Mark.
This is not Mark. This is LeBron's biggest fan in the world, and I came here because I know you're gonna start the episode off by bashing LeBron and the final. I'm just here to talk some LeBron sense to you.
Okay, we weren't really going to bash LeBron the whole episode, but
I know how I listened to this show before. I've heard you, Jay. You're like, bash LeBron. My cat screwed up my mic. Bash LeBron. My cat screwed up my mic. I know how you are.
you are a long-time listener.
I am a long-time listener. I know how you are. And you have audio issues all the time. So I have to be on the beginning of the episode or else people won't hear me.
Okay, so what is your big defense of LeBron?
So just to let people know where we are.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can fill in. You know, I know what day it is. You tell me what's going on.
Well, this is the day after LeBron's Cavs went down 2-0, which means this is the day that all the LeBron apology articles are being drafted up.
Well, you didn't even ask my name.
Oh, yeah, your name isn't just LeBron's biggest fan? I thought you legally changed your name to do that.
My name, you're going to ask me or not?
What's your name?
My first name is Larry.
Mm-hmm.
My last name is LeBron.
Larry LeBron.
Larry LeBron. I have my name legally changed.
Just the last name?
No, my first name. My first name used to be James.
That seemed okay. Move on.
Okay. Anyway, so people are talking about, LeBron this, LeBron that. Hey, Jay, what have you been up to? Have you been to the finals 6 straight years?
No, I've not.
See, LeBron's a better human being than you are. I'd say 99.9% of the world has not been to the finals 6 straight years. So that makes LeBron a superhuman.
Okay.
But I'm not going to get into everyone knows LeBron's amazing and he's 10 times the player of Michael Jordan. But I am really upset today.
Why?
I am upset. There is someone out there that is ruining LeBron's life.
Is he on the Warriors?
He is not on the Warriors, so that would be a good guess. He is part of he is employed by the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, is it JR?
No, it is not. The JR is a bit. He's a lot to put up with, but no, it is the person that put JR on this team.
I thought LeBron did that. Isn't he like the?
No, it is the team's general manager. The team's general manager, LeBron James, has been a goddamn disaster.
Yeah.
Yes, I am here. I love LeBron James, the player, but LeBron James, the GM, is a goddamn asshole.
He's pretty bad. LeBron James, the coach, isn't much better.
The GM is destroying this team, and it's hurting LeBron.
So you don't think Wiggins for Love was a good idea?
I don't think this GM has been following LeBron everywhere he goes. First, he was in Miami, screwing up the Miami team. Now what's he doing in Cleveland? How do you trade your number one? You have 3 number 1 picks in 4 years, and you got this garbage? What the hell's going on here? And you trade Wiggins for at least Wiggins can play some goddamn defense. What the hell is Love doing out there?
Love has been absolutely terrible.
You know what? When Love got hit in the head the other night, you know what that was? That was the first time Love had stopped Golden State on offense.
That is true. That is true.
And Kyrie Irving, how does LeBron even join this team when Kyrie Irving's on this team? Kyrie Irving hasn't played defense since I don't know when. It is.
So you're saying LeBron needs more help?
I'm saying LeBron, the GM, needs to be banished to GM banishment land, and LeBron, the player, should be surrounded by players that complement him and are just as good as him. Which may not be possible, but they should clone LeBron, and he should be able to pass to himself like he dreams of.
I do agree. If there was a team of 4 to 5 LeBrons, they would be very good.
So here I'm proposing, and Richard Jefferson is in the NBA still. How shocked were you to learn that?
I'd be even more shocked that he's been the second best player on the Cavs.
Oh, I had to look it up. This is the same Richard Jefferson that was on the 0-1 Nets.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I thought I was watching an episode of The Walking Dead when he was on the court. Did you know Richard Jefferson is not 80 years old? They say he's 35. He must have started playing in the NBA when he was 11.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised too.
Holy shit. What the hell? What kind of roster? They put out Timothy Mozgov last. What the hell are they doing?
Timothy Mozgov, a.k.a. the Big White Flag.
And who's this coach they got? He's got no experience. Whoever hired him is a moron.
All right, are you done defending LeBron?
LeBron is amazing.
Good.
So I'm going to make some trade proposals for next year.
Okay.
So we have to rebuild the LeBrons.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, if you want to win a title, Cleveland, stop calling your team the Cavaliers. What kind of nickname is that? What the hell's a Cavalier? It's not the Old West. We need to be the Cleveland LeBrons. That's appropriate.
Okay.
Next, we will trade Kyrie Irving for Steph Curry. I've scouted him. He looks pretty good. I imagine he'd play pretty well with LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
I bet he would like getting passes from LeBron. Next, we will trade Kevin Love for Klay Thompson.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so far I think you're on track, yeah.
I'm going to go through the rest of the Cleveland roster and trade them for Golden State's roster. I think that would be the only fair way to do this. And then we'll see how well Golden State can play with Cleveland's roster. Screw you.
So what's the one player left over? Because LeBron's still staying on the Cavs, I guess, right?
Yes.
McAdoo?
Golden State gets to keep Steve Kerr. Screw you, Kerr. Actually, sorry, we're trading our coach for Kerr. That I forgot. I meant to make that trade. They get to keep whatever member of Golden State's bench would start on the Knicks. That guy gets to stay.
All right, McAdoo.
Okay. And so this will be guaranteed. Cleveland wins the final. And if LeBron does not win the finals, then the following season his shots must count for 5 points each. Because it's not fit. You can't have the greatest player ever in the history of time going 2-5, then 2-6. He's going to go like 2-20 in the finals. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm done here.
Okay, go away.
And you know who's done here also?
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie Irving. God damn it! Kevin Love. Okay, bye.
Bye.
How you doing, Jay?
I am doing good. Let's talk some Knicks before we continue the playoff talk.
Okay. So Hornacek is in, and the Knicks are going to be better.
So the contract is finalized. 3 years, $15 million.
So now you may say, Hornacek is not. They paid a lot for him, $5 million a year.
That's what D'Antoni got in Houston.
Yeah, no, it's pretty reasonable. But you realize now the Knicks are paying $9 million a year for their coach.
That's it? I thought they were paying like 4 coaches right now.
I don't know how many coaches.
I feel like every coach the Knicks sign gets 4 or 5 years, and then they fire him after 1 or 2.
That's probably
If you
true.
told me the Knicks were paying 4 coaches right now, I'd believe you.
I'd believe you if you told me they were paying Larry Brown still.
Yeah.
I actually feel, you know who I feel really bad for?
Rambus?
Yeah, because he's the only coach not getting $5 million a year and not the coach the next. So did you have you watched any press conference? What's your take on Hornacek so far?
Well, he gets +3 or 4 for not being Rambus.
Yeah, that's a pretty good, actually. I agree with that.
He has an up-tempo style, which is not the triangle, so another +3.
Do you know how many times? So Phil had said, I want to make sure I want to hire someone I have a relationship with.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times he had spoken to Hornacek prior to, I guess, conducting his first interview with him?
17.
17 minus 17, actually.
Well,
You know, they've never spoken.
well, maybe they're at one of those like eyes wide shut parties, and there was just no talking involved.
Yeah, maybe that's where they bonded.
Yeah.
I want someone I have a relationship with. A relationship while we're plowing the same woman.
It's a snuggly relationship.
Stuggling. Yeah, I don't mind that it's not someone that he's like BFF with. It's just it was just weird they're saying how he's like, I want to have someone I have a relationship with, and then he's like, okay, when I said relationship, I meant relationship from afar. I have a relationship with his picture in my bed. So Hornacek was said that when he within over the course of 3 days, he's talked to Phil for 17 hours.
That's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time to discuss stuff.
Okay.
That's like some if you told me thereafter they were going to like become lovers, it would have been the same pathway, talking for 17 straight hours.
That's a lot of time.
That's what he said. They said they talked for 17 hours. Like he was giving like an estimate, but
Well, I'm going to assume that means they're actually on the same page, which is good, because it didn't seem like Fisher and Phil were on the same page.
no, I think Fisher and Phil talked for 16 hours. Yeah, no, they seemed like they were on the same page. I think Hornacek had said, I was listening to an interview he did on Michael Kay's show, ESPN, and he was saying how he talked to Phil about running his basically his up-tempo offense, and Phil said, you can do that within the triangle.
Great.
And he said basically Phil wasn't so connected. He didn't have to have a triangle. He just needed a system.
Okay, well, the system's good.
So he said it's going to be more up-tempo.
So how do you feel about all this?
I feel like this triangle is not going to resemble last triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Though Hornacek kept saying how in his interview that he's going to explain the triangle to the players and everyone will just get it. Which is what we've been doing the last 2 years and no one's gotten it.
Right.
Because they kept asking him like, it seems like no one wants to play on the system and everyone's confused by it and no one seems to understand it. He's like, it's just about spacing. I'll explain it. I understand it. I'll explain it. Everything will be fine. So what I really think is going to happen is he's just going to have a system. He's going to have a system that's going to be, because the system they ran in Phoenix had a lot of spacing. He's going to have a lot of spacing. He's going to run a lot more pick and rolls, and I think it's going to look like a much better offense.
Yeah, me too. So that's good news.
Yeah, I am not. I mean, the team. If you think about it, the team was 21-21 or 22-22 before it went on a miserable disaster.
Yeah.
If you add a coach, you feel like this team could win 41 games? Maybe.
We're going to start this again?
What?
What we did at the beginning of last season?
I think they could win 85 games.
I think it's realistic that they finish 500 and, maybe like a 6 seed and, maybe they could get a first-round upset.
They will not be held back by the number of games there are in a season. I would say I'm going to predict now, not knowing anything else that happens in the offseason. And I will probably revise it because I'll probably forget what I said.
Yep.
But I'm going to predict they win 40 games.
Okay.
What do you predict based on just knowing that we're using a different style of offense?
What did we win last year? 33?
Something like that. 32, 33, I don't know.
Going to go with 39.
Okay. Wonderful.
We had one other bit of Knicks news.
Someone was charged with sexual assault.
Yes, we have 3 Knicks signed to long-term contracts, and one of them got charged with assaulting a female.
I'm going to say the one that got charged with assaulting a female, Kyle O'Quinn, Not that I want anyone to go to prison, but I would have to choose him in the who gets to go. If I have to send one player to prison game, I'd be fine with him going to prison.
Why? Because
I just don't care if he's on the roster next year.
Oh, yeah.
I can just free up. Nothing against Kyle O'Quinn. Nothing against him. Just saying, don't take offense to Kyle O'Quinn. But I don't mind if next year you're in jail, doing whatever they do in jail, while we use your money to sign someone better.
Yeah, I wonder if he gets arrested, that voids his contract, right? And then...
Well, I don't know also, wouldn't he have been arrested already? Like this...
Yeah,
I think this happened a few months ago. He's probably just being sued.
He's been charged, so there's still going to be a trial.
Oh, he's been charged?
Yeah.
Oh. That's not good.
I'm assuming that would void his
stuff.
contract, and then we'd have a whole another $4 million to work with.
Wouldn't it be great if we could have all these years, the players that we didn't want, we just put them in jail? Stephon Marbury, you're not going to play for us for $20 million? Oh, guess who you sexually assaulted? I guess it makes the Seraphin O'Quinn choice a little harder.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I still think you get rid of Seraphin and just hope O'Quinn doesn't go to jail.
Yeah, I don't really think we need either of them.
Okay, Seraphin, you committed the assault with Quinn. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm a free agent. Okay, you didn't commit the assault. I mean, that big Nick news is not quite as fun as the new coach, new possibilities. I can dream now, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's not much else happened this week in Knicks land.
So I was just looking at some things. It was some posting and toasting about the Knicks offense last year. Do you know which team took the most shots with 7 seconds to go in the shot clock? Oh, actually, top 5. The Knicks. And apparently, when you shoot with less than 7 seconds to go in the shot clock, usually you shoot poorly. So,
yes, those are the rushed shots.
Yes. And they have a thing of percentages when the Knicks, when you take the shot and what percent of the shots the Knicks actually made. And as it turned out, it basically almost goes straight down. Like the first 2 or 3 seconds, you're shooting like 54%. And then it's like a 52, 50, 44. It just goes straight down to like whatever. Yeah, so that's not good. No. So if you shoot faster and have faster offense, maybe it's got to look better. I mean, the Knicks also, there's so many times where with like 5 seconds to go on the shot clock, and the Knicks are like, who should shoot the ball? I don't want it. You take it.
Jackman just posted a Phil quote from an American Express event. He says, "The 3-point shooting has changed the spacing of today's NBA. The triangle still has a place in the NBA, but the spacing may need to be adjusted due to the 3-point shot."
Okay, well, he's adjusting.
We're going equilateral.
Hornacek actually commented on that in his interview. He said how he's just shooting lots of threes can work if you are Golden State, but if you're, say, the Houston Rockets, you may need to do more than shoot just 3-pointers. So I thought that was a good understanding the rosters a little bit.
So if you have good 3-point shooters, you should shoot a lot of threes, and if you don't have a lot of good 3-point shooters, you should shoot less threes.
Yeah, which is Mike D'Antoni didn't ever learn that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, what else did he say? If you know what, if you get to coach the Knicks, you know who you don't get to meet? James Dolan.
He didn't meet James Dolan?
He has not met James Dolan yet.
I think this means that Dolan might be losing interest in the Knicks, which is really good news.
I mean, I think when Larry Brown got hired, he had to talk to James Dolan for 17 hours.
Yeah, and then he purposely tanked so he'd get fired.
I thought that was interesting. They hadn't spoken to James. I would have thought James Dolan would want to be that involved, but I guess he really is just it's hard to blame James Dolan for anything going on because at this point, James Dolan really has given over the keys to Phil, it seems like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, he said and Hornacek said free agency was important, and they needed some more star players.
I feel like Phil has to get this team turned around in the next 2 years because James Dolan is probably just sitting there like, I'm giving Phil Jackson 5 years, and then I'm just going to burn this team to the ground. Like, I'm staying out of it, and it's killing me, but if this doesn't work, I'm coming back in, and I'm going to wreck everything.
Well, yes, I believe
it's got to be killing them.
If this team is not like in real turnaround mode by the time like something's really being built by the time Phil leaves, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Grant, and even though I haven't seen him play yet, at least what I've heard about Roten sounds like they would be guys that would do better in an offense by a Hornacek.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a pause. Automatically, our guards look a little bit better. Our defense, and Hornacek also made a point about you can't just rely on your front court to stop guys from going to the basket. Your guards have to be the first line of defense, something along those lines. Okay,
so he understands like basic common sense of basketball.
This beats a lot than what we've had so far.
Yeah.
What else was it? And Jose Calderon said he's very excited to play on a more up-tempo offense.
I also saw something that said Tony Roten may start next season. -7 excitement points.
Where'd you see that? Who said that?
I don't remember who said it.
How did they even say that? The guy hasn't played a single minute for the Knicks, even in like summer league.
I think I saw that on Posting and Toasting.
All this stuff remains to be seen, and all this stuff like will work itself out.
It was one of those like a source close to the team says Roten looks good and may start next season.
Hey, sir, what do you do? I work for the New York Knicks. What's your title? My title is source close to the team. I'm the official voice piece for the news.
My title is leaking team secrets.
I mean, why is it always a source close? Does any other team operate like this?
I gotta say, since Phil took over, there's been a lot less leaking.
Yeah, well, no. There's been like it's just red herringville. It's just like, oh, Knicks are going to draft Frank Kaminsky. Kristaps Porzingis. Knicks are going to hire Rambis. They're going to hire Rambis. Oh, it's Hornacek. It's almost like he enjoys like, surprise, you got it wrong again.
Well, I'd rather that than telegraphing every move and having every team take advantage of us.
Has he telegraphed any move yet?
No.
Even the Roten signing, we thought the Knicks were going to sign Roten, but like it took forever.
Yeah, and I remember the Chandler trade came out of nowhere. Like everything he's done so far has been a surprise, which is great because, you know, if Phil wasn't here, we would have been like, yeah, we really want Porzingis and we really hope Philly doesn't draft him. And then Philly would have drafted him.
What? Didn't Philly draft before the Knicks?
Yeah. We would have played our hand, showed how much we wanted him, and Philly would have taken...
okay. I follow your logic, Jay.
Yeah.
They said also, on this posting article, it was interesting. They said when Porzingis shoots the ball without dribbling, he was shooting 50%. When he was shooting with dribbling the ball once, shot went down to 36%. So maybe, and not that he can't dribble a little bit, but maybe Porzingis is more of a guy that catches the ball and then shoots. Not like he has to be like basically he's more of a guy that shouldn't be like your primary ball handler.
Well, that's good because it seems like Hornacek is more willing to have Porzingis go out to the 3-point line instead of trying to post him up.
Yeah. It should be interesting. I'm watching Golden State play, just to go back to that. It's goddamn ridiculous some of the shots they make from three.
So this series shows that the dichotomy between the East and West is just like absolutely a joke.
Yeah, LeBron destroyed the East and now is getting crushed.
Yeah, they almost made it to the finals without losing, and in this series, they're so outmatched it's not even funny.
Do you think they're going to win a game?
Yeah, I think LeBron's going to have one of his ridiculous, like, 40, 15, 12 games, and they'll get one win, and then the series will be over. Which is fine, because all that'll do is make sure that the Warriors win at home in Game 5.
So, was there a time LeBron could shoot three-pointers? And
yeah,
when did that end?
He used to be decent. He's really bad now.
Yeah, I don't know why he's even shooting them now. But,
I also don't get why he seems to settle. Like there was a play where Barbosa was on him, and you're like, well, you would think LeBron would just back him all the way to the basket, but he just takes a three.
There were some plays where he would take it to the basket and score, and you were like, hey, why doesn't he keep doing that? I understand it's tiring, but it's also tiring losing. I just think he does not have the energy to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because like guys like, I feel like younger Melo would go to the basket more. Older Melo settles more. Guys can start settling more, and that's like what Kobe Bryant started sucking because like this past year because he was settling so much, or last couple of years. Instead of you never had like you'd shoot dumb shots, but you'd also take it to the basket enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, he needs help there. There was an article on do you look at Deadspin at all?
No.
Anyhow, they had an article about how good of a defender Kyrie Irving is. We were talking about, and they were saying, what was it? In the regular season, Kyrie Irving gave up an effective field goal percentage of 50%. In the playoffs, almost 60%. In Game 1, he was shooting 67% from guys who were shooting against him.
Yeah, he's not very good.
He's guarding no one and playing no offense, and Kevin Love is just as bad. Both those guys are so not good on defense. They were saying how the Golden State was kind of a little bit upset last year that Kyrie and Love are out because they plan on just exploiting them the whole series for their bad defense. And instead, they had guys who were better defense. The series was more competitive without Love and Kyrie on the floor.
Yeah, I mean they're so outmatched though. I mean Barbosa hit his first 10 shots against Cleveland. I mean guys like that are just going nuts off the bench.
Why is Barbosa allowed to be on their bench? Why is Sean Livingston allowed to be on their bench? Like this is like we need socialism. I need Sean Livingston on the Knicks. They have too many riches in Golden State.
Is there? I mean, I would say 4 out of the Warriors' top 5 bench guys would start on the Knicks.
Let's go through this. Let's go through it right now. Let's go look at this roster.
The bench.
The
okay,
bench.
so
Livingston,
point guard is Livingston.
We know all 5 starters would absolutely start for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Do you think would Lopez start, or actually would Lopez start over Bogut?
No.
I don't know. I don't think Bogut's all that great. You think Bogut's amazing?
I think his defense is ridiculous. The plus minus when he's on the court is like leading the league.
I don't know. He gets injured all the time and can't play a ton of minutes.
Right.
I'm not as impressed with Bogut, but everyone else I'm insanely impressed with.
Mm-hmm.
Iguodala absolutely would be a huge asset to get in the Knicks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Starts easily. I don't understand. The guy was an all-star, and he gets to be on their bench. Livingston, easily our best point guard we'd have in the last decade.
Yep.
Barbosa easily starts on the Knicks.
Yeah, way better than any of our shooting guards.
Ezeli, Veskovitz, whatever.
He wouldn't start over Lopez.
No. And then Brandon Rush is not going to start. Sprites might start. Spites, whatever.
Spites over Porzingis?
No.
Well, if you're saying Iguodala would start, then you're saying the next bench guy would not start over Melo. So,
are we doing each like the entire team or like one like
whatever? Four
Whatever,
of their bench guys would start on the Knicks.
And Cleveland, hang on, just to see how it would work in Cleveland. I'm gonna go through their starters that wouldn't start for the Knicks. I'm gonna say J.R. Smith would not start for the Knicks now.
Well, he didn't last 2 years ago, so yeah.
Not much changed.
No.
I assume Love would find a way to start. Kyrie Irving would find a way to start. LeBron would probably be on the bench. Tristan Thompson would not start over Lopez.
No, he would not.
Richard Jefferson would clearly be on our bench, but he wouldn't start.
He would be our 6th man, yeah.
Shump. Our guards are so goddamn bad. He'd probably start.
So four of
the
Warriors bench guys would start on the Knicks, and only 3 of the Cavs starters would start on the Knicks.
I don't know where I'm going with this. Obviously, the Golden State has a much better team than Cleveland.
Yeah, the series is over.
And it is really amazing. Like, they should just given the title out at the OKC series and said, Cleveland, congrats on playing pretty well in the finals. And Cleveland's like, we didn't have the finals yet. And they're like, don't embarrass yourself. Do you think? So here's just to move on topics. You're going to say what? Cleveland? Golden State in 5.
Yeah.
Do you think the last couple of series we saw San Antonio blow out OKC and then lose the series? Do you think there's a chance Cleveland makes it the series and pushes it to 6?
There's a slim chance it goes to 6, but they just seem so outmatched on every level. I don't know.
I'm predicting a 4-game sweep. I am now convinced Golden State's going to just put they're going to, whatever phrase you want to use, they're going to basically just stomp on the Cavs.
Yeah, the crazy thing is Curry and Thompson haven't even gone off yet.
You know what's crazy about watching them? Just going back to the OKC series, I think it was like Game 7 or Game 6, and maybe it was Game 6 when Klay Thompson was going off and like hitting all those crazy shots, and then towards the end of the game, OKC was getting desperate, and I think Westbrook shot like a 3, like right at the beginning of the shot clock, just took a, and the announcers were like OKC can't get desperate here. They can't just shoot like any. They can't just just fire it up from 3. And I'm like, yeah, well, Golden State's doing it and they're just hitting it, so it's not necessarily like. It's just funny. Like one team doing it is a good play because they can hit it, and anyone else doing it is crazy because no one can hit those shots.
Yeah.
So here's just to change topics for you.
Well,
Kevin
I just
Durant.
want to say one other thing about why this series is getting so out of hand. 5 minutes into the first quarter, the Warriors put in 2 bench guys, and 3 minutes later they had like 3 or 4 bench guys in, and what that means is their starters are really fresh in the fourth quarter, whereas the Cavs bench is so bad. Basically, their starters have to play 40 minutes each, and they're just gassed. If you notice, the fourth quarter, the Warriors are going up by 20-something points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Also, when your bench is so good,
Well, that's the thing. They put in their bench players in the first quarter against the starters, and they don't give up a lead.
it's also not even like on your bench you have. It's not like you have a Jamal Crawford who can put up a bunch of points but doesn't add anything on defense. Iguodala is like a fantastic defender and like causes LeBron tons of problems when he's on the floor.
Iguodala, Livingston, Ezeli, and Barbosa are all plus defenders.
I mean, yeah, Livingston could be an all-star, or like he could be a borderline all-star if he just started somewhere else.
You wanted to switch topics?
Switch topics. So,
Jackman wants to know if you're drinking sauce.
yeah. I think Kevin Durant is crazy if he leaves OKC, and I think OKC they're on their way to beating Golden State. They have a decent chance of beating him next year. They should totally return to OKC. I think he's crazy if he leaves. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I think he's crazy if he doesn't sign a 1-year contract with OKC.
Okay, forget the whole you're saying because that way he can time it so Westbrook's a free agent also.
Yeah, you don't want to say, hey guys, I'm here for 5 more years, and Westbrook's like, yeah, I'm out.
Okay, totally agree with that. Let's just assume Westbrook and him are on the same page about staying, or he can convince Westbrook that you both stay, you both get your max money, blah, blah, blah. I think Steven Adams is only going to get better.
Yeah.
If that guy gets better, I feel like in Game 7, they would have won that game if Steven Adams could hit a fucking open shot.
Yeah.
There's a couple shots where he's open from 5 feet away, he can't hit the shot, and that play gets eliminated because he would be open so much. But Adams gets better. They add a couple of bench pieces. They could beat. They have fucking so much length in that team. They're the team that could actually beat Golden State.
I think Roberson gets better.
Yeah.
Ibaka's still really good. The thing is, you need to replace Waiters with somebody better, and you need a backup point guard.
You know what they need? They need a bunch of veterans to say, "Hey, I won a title. Let me go to OKC and win a title." Just the way the guys did it on San Antonio.
Yeah,
not that they got a title, but you need a couple bench players that want titles.
Yeah, and any LeBron team, Richard Jefferson would really have helped OKC.
Yeah, I can't believe Richard Jefferson could still play.
I can't either, and he looks really good.
Yeah, he didn't look bad at all.
He literally looks like their second best player.
You know, he's 35.
Yeah,
goddamn. I saw that age because I was like, did he really play on the 0-1 team? Was he in the finals with the Nets? I'm like, wait a sec, let me look this up. And I looked, and I see the age, and I'm like, 30. I'm like, how is that goddamn possible? He's 35. Yeah, I just think. So here's why he'd be crazy to leave OKC. Okay. Assuming that Westbrook would stay. The team's going to getting better. Anywhere he goes, outside of going to Golden State or going to San Antonio, the team is going to be worse.
Yeah.
I mean, what team would he go to that has a better chance of winning besides if he goes to Golden State, everyone's going to hate him. It's going to be like LeBron hate. And
honestly, if you're Golden State, you'd have to get rid of so many players to do that. You wouldn't have a bench.
I think most of the team is signed through next year.
Yeah, but to have enough room to get Durant, you'd have to get rid of Barnes, I think Iguodala and Livingston.
I know. I was saying that because most of the team is signed through next year, you can just bring most of the same team back. Why would you do it?
Right.
You'd rather have depth than have add another superstar. You don't necessarily need a Kevin Durant.
You'd have arguably the greatest starting lineup of all time, but you'd have a pretty trash bench.
Yeah, I think isn't Barnes a free agent?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You'd have to not sign him, and then you'd have to trade.
Can they just max him and have no effect on the?
Who Durant?
No. I mean, can Golden State just max? Is there when you have your own player? Is there any way to run out of money to sign the guys? If you're willing to pay the tax, you can bring back whoever you want, right?
Correct. Which
is the most absurd thing ever.
Yeah. That's why drafting your own players is so important. Something the Knicks don't do.
It's not important. I mean, just because Golden... Can you believe that roster? I was going to make a joke, but forget it. That roster, everyone was drafted. Yeah, almost everyone, basically. Except for Iguodala and Livingston, they got... I don't know why no one wanted to sign Livingston besides them.
Yeah, four out of 5 of their starters are drafted by that team.
And not even they had number 1 pick after... Okay. Forgetting going on about them. If Durant goes to Golden State or San Antonio, do you think he'd suddenly be looked at as a LeBron guy? Would that hurt him?
I think some people would see it that way, but you could also say the owners made some real bad decisions based on being cheap. Maybe you don't trust the ownership.
Oh, they put together a team that took one of the greatest teams ever. If you're a top to 7 games.
Yeah, despite the ownership.
Adams looks pretty good. They're assembling some pretty good players. That was an accident. You really think the owner said 3 years from now we're gonna draft this center that's gonna be really, really good? Who? But I guess would you rather have Adams right now or would rather have Harden?
Adams.
Yeah, not that I don't think Harden's a very good player. I just don't think Harden really adds as much as a guy
I'm just
Adams
saying there's no way the owners could have known that was going to work out like that.
Well, here's what I look at it. If he goes to San Antonio or he goes to Golden State, people go, yeah, you can't beat him, join him. You look why don't you win something on your own? Don't just run to win a title. I just like seeing players stick with teams. I feel if you look at players in history, look at Shaq. Shaq made a change. He was on Orlando, went to the Lakers. I don't think I'm sure Orlando fans hated him, but not that many people really hated him for going to the Lakers because the Lakers weren't that amazing before he got there.
Right. Yeah, no, that's true.
Everyone hated LeBron because he teamed up with his friends and tried to make it easier on himself to win the title. And also he did it he announced it like a dick.
Yeah, Shaq didn't have an hour-long special.
Yeah, look at players that changed teams. Barkley went to Phoenix. It was a trade.
Yeah, he was traded.
But he wanted out of Philly or whatever. It wasn't. People didn't look at him like a dick for it. Basically, it wasn't he had to build something in Phoenix or had a team that was good that he had to get them to the finals. I feel if you leave a team and you try to make it easier for yourself, and it's not. It's he's not on team OKC is so good as it is. To go, if you went to the Celtics, say, you would say the Celtics are pretty good. He could take them to the next level. You wouldn't hate him going to the Celtics. But going to a team that won 67 or 73 games, you're kind of
yeah.
I don't know. I feel that's kind of a bullshit move, basically, to win a title.
Steven said he'd rather have Harden than Adams.
Well, that's great, Steven.
Have you seen Harden play defense?
Yeah, that's the reason I feel having another 7-footer that can play solid defense is what OKC needs more than having a Harden.
And Adams is the type of player who's not going to show up to the beginning of the season out of shape.
I also I know Harden played with Westbrook and Durant before, but I don't think there are enough balls on the court for to have the three of them play anymore. Harden really likes having the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I don't think Harden would have been cool being the sixth man for his whole career.
Yeah, I feel like the egos, it just wouldn't work. And
he wants the big stage to choke on the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, when they made the finals, Harden laid an egg, and arguably they lost the finals because of him.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
So the team was younger. Durant's gotten better. Westbrook's gotten better. The guys are all young. You still have a pretty young core there also.
Yeah.
Also, you stay in OKC, you're a god in OKC no matter what you do. Versus you go somewhere else, and now you're you become mortal.
They do have a great crowd.
I mean, what else is going on in Oklahoma?
Corn?
Yeah. You really he comes to New York. Not that he's going to come to New York, and if I goddamn hate when people are going to go on about, he'll come to New York because we have Broadway.
Can we stop with the Durant to New York stuff?
He will be so abused by the New York media. Why would you want to leave OKC and come to New York?
People are saying we're being negative by saying he's not coming to New York. No, we're being realistic. We're not being negative. We're being realistic. He's not. Why would he come to New York? Hey guys, we can offer you less years, less money, and our team is complete shit. But we had one good draft pick, so you should leave your borderline championship team.
You know what? But OKC, who wants to live there? New York's fun. You know what? OKC is pretty fun to live with when you have $20 million a year and when everyone thinks you're an actual god.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone chanted my name all the time. I would be happy living in OKC also. And if he wants to live in New York, he's got a lot of free time to come to New York. It's fine. Anyway, so those are the reasons. I feel like he's so close to being it's almost like this is almost like the Bulls, Pistons, Celtics, kind of like when the Celtics had to be taken down by the Pistons were taken down by the Bulls. OKC needs to take down Golden State. He should go and finish the job.
Okay, it won't happen, but yeah, I agree.
He won't stay, or you don't think they'll take him down?
I don't think they'll take them down. I think he'll stay.
They took him to 7 games. You don't think they could take him down?
No.
You don't think they could beat Golden State?
No.
You realize they came very close to beating them.
Yeah, that was their shot. That was it. They peaked.
I think they're getting better.
I think the Warriors are getting better. I think that was it. I think that was as close as they're going to get. I understand that both teams are young and getting better, but the Thunder they have no bench.
You can get a bench. They'll get a bench.
Can't get a bench. It's possible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
You know how you get a bench? Here's how you get a bench. You hire LeBron the GM. No one's better at building a bench than LeBron the GM.
OKC's capped out.
They'll find some way. I mean, there seems like there's all these exceptions for the teams that are good. Knicks the gap, you can't sign anyone else, Knicks. But Cleveland's spending $40 million more than us. Knicks, shut the hell up. Okay.
Want to do some questions?
Yeah, why don't we do some questions? You got some emails for us?
I was going to do Twitter.
Fine, whatever. I thought, don't you usually do?
Shut up.
Don't you first do Instagram? Then you do you do our questions off of Brazers, or whatever porn site you have up at the moment, and then you do questions off of Twitter last.
Yeah. William Lee sent us an F. Bron song. I don't know if you want to hear that.
Hey, did you even do the opening song today?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Play the Bron song.
This video is no longer available due to a copyright.
Oh my God, Jay.
Due to a copyright claim by Lil Brick Boom.
Lil Brick Boom!
Sounds great. LeBron Hater says...
Can you find the link? Someone send Jay the link.
Somebody send me the link. Somebody wants us to have Elgin.com on the show.
Okay, ask him to be on the show.
Yeah.
Who is that? Is that Elgin Baylor?
I don't know.
Probably not.
He's got 2,500 followers on Twitter.
And probably not Elgin Baylor.
Let's see. LeBron Hater says, don't you think if Melo was on LeBron's team, he'd have won at least 4 to 5 rings?
Well, which team? Because he's only been on Cleveland 2 years since he got back.
Right. And he was only in Miami for 4. You mean if he just followed LeBron around like James Jones does?
Or was he in, like, is he going to be on LeBron's team in high school?
No, he
or
said
are you
teams.
done?
He said teams with an S.
Okay, let's just say, let's forget making
So
another
he's
question.
James Jones and he follows LeBron around.
No, forget just the last 2 years. If he was on Cleveland the last 2 years instead of Love, could they beat Golden State?
No.
It would be a better series, but I still don't think they beat Golden State.
Yeah.
Do you think if he was on Miami? Well, if you added him to Miami, they might have won an extra title.
Maybe one more. I'd say 2.
Maybe one more. You're gonna have Bosh, Wade, LeBron, and Melo, and you don't win an extra title. I feel like you might win 4 titles there.
I'm going to say 3.
Really?
Yeah.
You added a fourth All-Star to the team.
Yeah. Still saying 3.
Okay.
Knicks Hater writes, the Cavs paid Shump $40 million, LOL. He's been such trash.
Oh, my God.
And JR's been even worse. I am just loving how bad JR's looked.
I know JR's look really bad, but how annoyed is JR that Shumpert's getting twice his salary? Shump sucks.
Shump's bad.
Remember when Knicks drafted Shumpert and we didn't really know who that was? And everyone was like, who's this Iman Shumpert? And now he's getting $9 million a year to suck for the Cavs.
And then he played halfway decent. Everyone's like, oh my God, he's like the defensive stopper of a lifetime.
Remember the trip to the Texas Triangle? He had like 3 good games against like the Rockets, Spurs, and Mavericks.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, he's finally breaking out. And turns out he was not.
And then he also writes, do you think we can trade Calderon and Galloway and a pick for Westbrook or Curry? So that's definitely...
Why not both of them? Think about it.
Yeah, 3-way trade?
Yeah. Do people just make up Twitter handles to like ask us questions? I looked up LeBron Hater. It's like 12 followers. It looks like the account was started yesterday.
Maybe it was.
I don't know. Okay.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah. LeBron probably won't because it says LeBron Hater.
Let's see. Amac writes, who should the Knicks select in the upcoming draft? Very, very funny.
Ooh, I'll take that one. Go on.
Nick writes, if LeBron opts out, that increases odds of riots at the Republican convention in Cleveland.
Do you think there's a chance that, let's say Cavs get swept for, let's say even 5 games, is there a chance LeBron leaves Cleveland?
No.
100% he's staying?
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to opt out. He's going to come back for like $30 million. He's in like, I'm cashing out mode. I'm getting as much money as possible.
You don't think he's like, I'm coming home to Miami now?
It would be great if he just alternated. Like every 2 years, he switches back and forth. I mean, he's got to be looking at Miami saying, damn, Miami is actually a better team. Like, imagine if LeBron was on Miami this year. Like, they were a much better team.
Do you think he's also talking to his agent being like, I don't know, can't we just do like a I'm coming home video to Golden State? Yeah. Do you think they would win a title with could they beat Golden State with that team, the Miami team?
No, but I think it would be a much better series.
Yeah.
I mean, if Bosh was
how
healthy,
much better of a series would it be if they never made the Wiggins trade?
It would definitely be a better series. I mean, I feel like Wiggins is better than Love already.
You know what I was thinking about also was that you remember when Love was traded, the other trade they were talking a lot about, which they obviously did not do, was Love for Klay Thompson. And everyone's like, Golden State, you're so close. Why wouldn't you do that trade?
I know. I was thinking they should have done it for a minute too.
I couldn't believe they went trade Klay Thompson for Kevin
Well,
Love.
they were
It turns out,
right. Yeah.
you have to be insane to make that trade.
Yeah. That would have been like one of those great what ifs if they actually did that, because they probably wouldn't have won either title.
Yeah. That actually, I think you're right. I think with add Kevin Love to that roster, they don't win either title.
No.
Kevin Love could destroy one of the greatest teams of all time.
Jay writes, do you think Melo's number will be retired by the Knicks? If no, what do you think he needs to accomplish for it to happen?
Have some winning seasons.
Yeah, I would say no right now. For it to happen, I would think they would have to make the finals. I'm not saying win, but they would have to make the finals.
I don't know if he has to make the finals to get retired, but he's got to go to the playoffs a bunch more times.
Conference finals? He can't keep having first-round exits and have his number retired.
What's his name's number retired? Who's the guy from the 80s?
Bernard King?
Yeah, is Bernard King's number retired?
Don't know.
Because they're comparable players. But I'd say right now, I mean, like, he's had some bad seasons. He's injured all the time. I don't know how you retire. I don't know how you retire Melo's number right now for the Knicks with a straight face. There's one good season basically the Knicks had with him.
Yeah.
And they made the second round. I mean, if how Melo's played for the Knicks or had their success, it was the standard bearer for like players' numbers getting retired. Like, could you imagine whose numbers get retired in the NBA now?
Yeah, I mean, you would have no numbers left.
Yeah. The Raptors were like, okay, let's retire Kyle Lowry's number.
Nicholas writes, should the Knicks trade Lopez for a pick or point guard?
No.
No, because then you need a center.
Well, I think some people are saying KP could be the center, or you bring that new guy in.
No.
Well,
No.
I don't like doing it because the part of our team that was really good actually last year was our front court, and it was actually pretty good. We actually had pretty decent defense from like near the rim. Like if we add some guards, our team could actually be pretty good. And I have to say, people always said before we got Lopez that you'll appreciate what he does when you really watch him more. And I think Lopez is a pretty darn good player.
Yeah, no, he was one of the best players. He was probably the second best player on the Knicks all season.
Yeah, I am a big fan to see what he can do with some actual guards.
And Hingle McCringle sent us a link to the Knicks Ghostbusters commercial. Have you seen it?
I've not. I didn't know this was a thing.
It's Melo, Porzingis, Spike Lee, and was it Clyde? I don't know. It's pretty embarrassing.
Did you find the Bron song yet?
Weird. Maybe it was a ghost.
All turned into a ghost.
This is the garden. There are ghosts all over.
Is he always
Spike
here?
Lee's dressed like Freddy for some reason.
Here. This place is haunted by the great gentleman.
Yeah,
And not
Clyde
so
is
great.
What are we gonna do?
Suit up.
Basically, they get in their Ghostbusters costume and they zap Slimer.
What's the music? What's the music? Can you sing it? Can you hum it?
The Ghostbusters song?
Yeah. What's the dun 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 dun? How's it go?
I'm not gonna sing it.
Come on, sing it.
I'm not gonna sing it.
It's like, I ain't afraid of no ghosts, right? But instead the Knicks are like, I ain't afraid of playing defense. Okay. Are there some emails? Could you find that song, the Bron? I'm going to look that up while you read the emails.
I think I found it. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is it.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Niggas know what it is, man. Go to State Warriors all day, man. We about to win this another championship, man. Y'all already know, man. Hey, fuck Bron, man. You already know, man. Steph Curry with the shot, man. Fuck LeBron James. Curry. Hey. Curry. Fuck Bron. Fuck Bron. Fuck Bron. Fuck Bron. Fuck Bron. Fuck Bron.
I think I'm gonna have to put an explicit tag on this episode.
I don't know what you're talking about. Keep playing it.
Fuck Bron Bron. Fuck on a nigga cause I'm shooting like Curry. Feel like Klay Thompson 1 quarter drop 30. Fuck Bron Bron, he'll never beat Kobe. And your hair fucked up just like Ginobili. Fuck Bron Bron. 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 Fuck Bron Bron.
There's not very many lyrics in this song.
Yeah, they're pretty good lyrics here. That must have took all 12 seconds to write. That's wonderful.
Steven's going off about our comments about Wiggins and Love.
Of what?
Wiggins and Love. He said, you make that trade 10 out of 10 times because they're in win now mode, and why would you wait for Wiggins to develop?
Trust the process, and it worked out.
I mean, they were calling Wiggins the new LeBron.
Everyone said Wiggins was probably a better defensive player than Kevin Love at the time of the trade.
And also, I think he's just a better player in general. Love has been absolutely terrible. He doesn't fit in with the team.
It wasn't an ideal trade. I mean, people said it was a good trade because they figured like Kevin Love was an all-star. I mean, he's doing it in Minnesota with no one else in the team that could play basketball. He must be able to do it on a real team. It wasn't that we killed the trade at the time, but we could all look back with retrospect and say it was a bad trade.
Yeah.
Okay. So
let's go to emails.
Yeah. I don't know what we said about it at the time, but we can all say in 2020 hindsight, bad trade. Okay.
Nick writes, guys, how do you feel about the Knicks trading?
Jay, just want to say, 10 out of 10 times you tank for 5 straight seasons. It's just a given. Go on.
Trust the process.
Trust the process, Jay. Steve.
Guys, how do you feel about the Knicks trading away Robin Lopez for a late first or second round pick? Terrible. I think that's the worst.
That's not even a good, Lopez is a pretty quality, he's a quality center. Everyone gets so they lose their mind if a guy doesn't score 20 points a game.
Right now, I think the best player we could chase after is Jordan Clarkson, but the problem is we have to compete with the Bucks and Lakers, who also have a ton of money. Also, Malik Newman should be the guy we draft.
Well, we don't have a draft pick, but
do we have a second rounder? Maybe that's what he's talking about.
No, we don't have a second rounder either. We have to get one of those. But this is the last of the drafts where we have nothing. But
yeah, no, that's terrible value for a good center.
And yeah, I'm going to guess Lopez is better than Malik Newman. So I don't like that. I don't like that trade at all.
I said in a previous email that same guy, Nick. I said in a previous email that the one trade chip the Knicks have is Lopez and also Willie Hernangomez. Then they should consider Marcus Page, Gary Payton II, Malichi Richardson, and also trade for Darren Collison and or Jordan Clarkson.
Clarkson's going to be matched by the Lakers, so we're not getting it. The Lakers, he's a restricted free agent. I'd like getting Darren Collison. I think he'd be a welcome addition.
So you're saying to draft a bunch of mediocre rookies instead of Lopez and Herman Gomez?
Keep Lopez, keep Herman Zoga, whatever the hell the guy's name is, and find a way to get a second round pick. Teams sometimes they give them away. Just you can still buy a second round pick. Teams don't want to necessarily sign it we can get into the second round. There's got to be something we can trade.
If we trade our starting center and our backup center, no, don't like it. Don't like it.
Can't we trade Sasha and get the number 1 pick in the draft?
He also writes, why no horny press conference?
No horny press conference. I don't know.
I don't know. We decided to be serious for once. Maybe it could work out. Nick writes, so when the Warriors won, everyone began shooting threes like crazy. Since Thunder are killing the Warriors with the big man lineup.
Should we cut to a press conference with Hornacek's daughter?
Do you think this is what everyone is going to copy going forward?
Hi, Jay. You called me to a press conference?
Yeah, Nick writes, also OKC looks a lot better, like a lot better version of
Jay,
Philly.
Are you staring at me? Do you like to look at me in your room at night when the Knicks games are over?
Sorta.
Oh, don't you want to know about my offense?
Sure.
Would you like to run my triangle? Ask me some questions, Jay. I know you want to.
I don't think I really want to.
Oh, Jay.
Yeah. So when are you going to coach the Knicks?
Oh, Jay, I'll be there when the Knicks are playing poorly. The camera's gonna pan to me, and I might be wearing some suggestive outfits.
Sounds great.
Yes, it will be. Yeah, I'll. Do you want to run your up-tempo offense inside me?
Sure do.
Okay, cool.
Did you know that Kazim writes? So Jeff is officially our coach. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I'm excited, but I'm cautious. I'm tired of talking myself.
You know what we screwed up? We didn't ask the man on the street about Hornacek.
That is true. And now it's almost 10.
Okay, go on.
Next week, Barks, Fisher, Phil, etc. It's going to be a long summer. We can.
Yeah, go on.
I have this weird feeling that Lynn is going to make a comeback. Lynn and Bazemore combo. Thoughts? I mean,
I think the Knicks said a source, but what the Knicks said they are not bringing Lynn back.
Lynn and Bazemore would be way better than what we have now.
Most things would be a lot way better. They said the source said Lynn's lack of defense is the reason the Knicks would not bring him back. He doesn't play a lot of defense.
Right. I do have a question, though, and it is a bit out there, but love you and Mark's views on this. So Mike Conley might not get the max money due to 2017 draft and free agency is heavy in point guard talent. I think he might not get a great deal of max offers because of it. Many teams might want to wait to fill that hole when the talent pool is bigger and cap space is bigger. What do you guys think? As always, a loyal fan, never miss an episode, and Mark is still the star of the show. Sorry, Jay, you're like Bucky to Mark's Captain America. Bucky, you couldn't even pick a good sidekick? Keep it up, guys. This summer you'll have at least one fan always listening, no matter if nothing's going on. Thank you, Kazim.
Captain America's sidekick is called Bucky?
Bucky Barnes.
Wow, they really just didn't even try with that sidekick.
You didn't watch the second or third Captain America movies?
I didn't watch the first Captain America movie, much less second or third.
Okay.
Is he like Jar Jar Binks?
No.
Okay.
Nothing's that good.
Yeah, if you get Conley on a good deal, I guess it wouldn't be that bad.
I think he's getting maxed.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, he's probably a top 10 point guard in the league, so I don't see any reason. I mean, if you're talking about guys like Harrison Barnes getting maxed, Conley's definitely getting maxed.
I think teams are desperate to overpay. Everyone's like, we're getting much more money, so much more money next year anyway. We'll max whoever.
Yeah.
Bazemore would be good. I like Bazemore better, but yeah. Are there more emails?
One more.
Okay.
This came in 20 minutes ago. Lorenzo writes, "Hey guys, after this Kings fans pitch to KD, what do you think? Will you guys offer him to come to New York?" And this guy Jack said, "Durant, come to Sacramento next year. I'll buy you in and out whenever you want."
Ooh. We got Shake Shack here.
Do we have the budget in the show to buy Durant Shake Shack every game though?
Yeah. You know what? Based on the fact that he's not really coming here, we'll buy you as many Escalades as you want. Also, we'll make the budget work. Okay, if you're gonna come here, Kevin Durant. We'll buy you. Jay will buy you a building. Jay has he finished school, so he can now he can afford buildings.
Yeah, I'm a player now.
Yeah, he's a big baller. What else are we gonna get him, Jay? Oh, I know. Actually, sorry, we're gonna get him LASIK. Jay has used his
powers of Yelp
to get LASIK to fix one of his eyes. He's gonna save the second eye, not get his second eye fixed. He's gonna give that eye to you, KD. Plus, Jay used his powers on Yelp to get a new mattress. KD, that new mattress is yours.
See? There you go.
Plus, Jay is now looking for a new place. He's giving his apartment and the black mold that's in his apartment to you, KD.
You get to keep all the black mold, and there's a lot.
All of it is included. They don't even charge you extra for that stuff. What else are you going to give him, Jay?
I am probably getting my tonsils and uvula removed. I will put them in a jar, and you could have them.
I don't even know I thought women have uvulas.
That's a vulva. Isn't the uvula the dangly thing in your throat?
I don't know. I thought that was your tonsils.
No, the tonsils are things on the sides.
Don't 7-year-olds have their tonsils taken out? Why are you having it taken out?
Because I don't want them.
Okay. So you can have Jay as tonsils, plus, we will give you a Rink of Sanity and New York Knicks T-shirt if you sign with the Knicks, Katie.
Mm-hmm.
And we probably don't have your size, but Jay will sew 2 Knicks shirts together to make your size.
There you go. So, as you can see, we can top the Sacramento offer.
And standing offer, whenever you want to do, whatever you would like to be on the New York Knicks podcast, as long as you're willing to record 8:30 or later after my kids go to sleep, you're welcome to come on anytime you want.
We're not flexible on your time.
Listen, Katie, I understand you're a superstar and you'd help our show, but I can't do the show. My wife will kill me if I try to do the show before the kids go to sleep. So I think that's a pretty solid offer to Katie.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be here, and we may have been kidding about the Escalade.
Yeah.
Plus, you can have my orange water bottle, which those who watch our show streaming see me drink out of every episode. Gilliam writes,
Gilliam.
Gilliam. Why do you get Gilliam from that?
You say all the letters.
Okay. Gilliam writes, is there a better no All-Star in the East than KP? I don't remember the All-Star roster, but I'm going to go... No, I'm going to give KP. KP's pretty darn good.
Did Millsap make the All-Star team?
I think he did.
Yeah.
Either way, KP's good. KP's also, he's 20. He'll be, by the time he's 25, he's going to be a top 10 player in the league. Gilliam writes, rate the players from last season's roster. 0 for offense, 10 for only defense, 5 for balance, two-way player. For example, if KP's better on defense, he would be a 6. Do you have the roster? We can do this pretty fast. Okay, Melo.
3. Are you saying 0's all offense and 10's all defense?
Oh, this is going to get confusing really fast. 3 because he's much better offensive than he is defensively, but not totally offensive player. KP, do you want to give him a 6 for defense? You agree with Gilliam's grade?
Yeah.
Robin Lopez.
8. Maybe 9.
I was going to say 7. His offensive game started improving.
But his defense is really good.
Okay. Ask Jay what kind of pill he just popped. Steven's trolling you. Why isn't he sharing his drugs with me? That's effing bullshit.
This is why I love the live room.
I don't know, a Flalo. How do you rate a guy like a Flalo? You can't really rate him like a 0 for offense because he was not that great on offense.
He's still like an 8 or a 9 because his.
But
no.
0 implies he's a really good offensive player.
No, no. He's like a 2 because his defense is so bad. You have to rate it on offense.
This is a weird rating system, I have to say. Sasha.
3 or 4.
Really? The shit he's done is balanced? He's terrible on defense.
He's terrible on offense.
Okay, Gilliam, we're going to move on from your rating system. Gilliam writes...
Sasha's a 5 because he sucks on both.
Yeah. More of a Brink question, but what do you make of the news they're remaking the next Star Wars movie? Apparently it was too much of a war movie, although that sounds really interesting to me.
Yeah, who wants all that action?
Did you see...
Let's add some talking stuff. You know what? Let's go back to the... when they had that Congress from episode 1, because everyone loved episode 1 where they had Congress talking for the first half of that movie.
So did you see... what was that Terminator?
If the entire movie was a big battle, I would say it was the greatest Star Wars movie ever.
If you're going to banish baseball from Brink, can we banish Star Wars questions from Knicks?
Okay, ask it on Brink.
Yeah, you can talk about this on Brink, okay? Gilliam writes, is Coach LeBron worse than Coach Rambis or Coach Fisher?
Is who?
Coach LeBron worse than Coach Rambis or Coach Fisher? I no, because
No.
it's really GM LeBron that's the issue.
Yeah. I mean, because, like...
Coach LeBron, it's not Coach LeBron's fault that GM LeBron gave him shit to work with.
True.
What kind of pill did you pop?
Holistic anxiety stuff.
Does it work?
I haven't been having crippling anxiety attacks.
Okay, good enough. What's in it? Mouse semen?
It's calcium phosphoricum, which is tissue salt.
Oh, that's what they pretend to call rodent semen.
Cool.
Gilliam writes, what do you think about Jennings for a 1-year contract, maybe $10, $12 million? Holy shit.
Well, I like the first part of that sentence.
He could prove he's healthy. Seems kind of a point guard that thrived under Hornacek at Phoenix, so maybe he's a good fit. Next summer, there'll be a lot of point guard free agents, and the cap will grow again. So we keep him. If he performs, get another. But the thing is, he's low risk, high reward, and Ty Lawson similar case. $10, $12 million for Jennings makes me want to vomit. That's a lot for Jennings.
Yeah, I mean, considering he's such a risk right now.
I don't know. I mean, he's coming off an injury. He's a terrible shooter. I almost would rather go with Roten and Grant. And then I'd rather give Grant and Roten. They're much cheaper, and they can use the money for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Jennings is that big of an improvement. I don't know. Do you think he's that amazing of an improvement over those guys we have already? I'm not saying he's not better. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say so.
Especially coming off the injury. Okay. What about Ty Lawson?
No, absolutely not.
You see, he's a guy I feel like would be at least worth more of the risk. You could probably get him for a cheaper contract. Anyway, Daryl writes, beginning of the season, we thought about 30-plus wins we would be happy with, as discussed on the podcast. Turns out we weren't that happy when we saw a potential good season go to hell, but realistically, what would we hope for next season? I know we don't know trades, etc., but number of wins versus rebuild or even tank. We kind of talked about this already with wins, but would you rather them try to have a good season, or would you rather them tank? Steven writes, tank. The Knicks have to tank. Anything else would be retarded. You guys laugh at Philly, but who's in a better spot right now?
I mean, I would rather the Knicks tank next season. What's their best case scenario? Make the 8th seed and get swept?
Yeah, you make a pretty good case, Steven. Do you think Philly's in a better position?
Trust the process.
Yeah, they do have the number 1 pick in the draft. That does help.
They're in a much better position.
Well, Embiid probably will not play next year, even though they say he will.
Even if it doesn't, you still have Saric. You have, they're probably going to draft Simmons or Ingram.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those two
They'll
alone,
have at least 7 guys that can play power forward.
Yeah. I do find it funny that they're going to draft another power forward.
I would say, the Knicks aren't going to tank, so that's just not even going to happen. So it doesn't really matter.
I mean, they're probably going to trade Okafor to get a guard.
Oh my god!
But I mean, I hear rumors Okafor to the Celtics, but the Celtics have 7-point power forwards too. So I don't.
I can't believe they're going to trade Okafor. I mean, you got him last year.
Yeah, but he's kind of a dick.
Trust the process of trading everyone a year if we get them.
This is the only year I think it makes sense because you could get a better power forward. So it's why not trade him and upgrade the position?
No, I mean that's a reasonable thing to say, or a reasonable argument to make.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. Anthony writes, do you think Durant will be on his ways to another team? The Knicks' possibilities are slim, but they should try the best they can get him. Is LeBron underappreciated, and is Curry an overall great player? I really think he's lights out shooter and not so high in the overall game. So the first part, do we think Durant's on his way to another team? I'm going to say 90% chance he stays in OKC. What percentage?
I'm going to say 95%.
Fine. Ooh, I'm going to top you after you say your number. Knicks, should the Knicks make an effort to get him, or is that a fool's errand?
Fool's errand.
Yeah. Is LeBron underappreciated?
He's considered the best player in the league for the last 10 years. How is that underappreciated?
Yeah, he's gone to
hated.
seven finals. And everyone says, every conversation is LeBron or Michael Jordan the greatest player of all time? It's hard to say he's underappreciated when he's in the conversation for who's the greatest player of all time continually.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Curry an overall great player or just an amazing shooter?
No, he's an amazing player. I mean, he passes a lot. He got 9 rebounds last game.
Have you seen him drive to the basket? He makes some shots going to the basket where you're like, just insane. Where you're like, well, like, oh, they've got him covered. There's no way. Oh, how did that go in?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably the best ball handler in the league as well.
His defense is fine. It's not like his dad was a spot up shooter. He can nail it, but you had to get him the ball. Curry does shit where like he just stops on a dime and nails it from like 35 feet away. It's absurd.
Yeah.
But how far away is Curry from? Oh, I think I did that question already. I was gonna say how far away is he from being like a top 50 player? What does Curry have to do to make like a top 10 player of all time? Like how many more years do you have to do this for?
A while. I mean,
what kind of
if you think about
run?
it, like he's only been amazing for like 3. He was pretty injured for his first 3.
Well, let's say they go on a run, they win the next 3. They win this year and win 3 more.
Yeah, that'll put him up there.
Yeah. Steven says Knicks won't even get a meeting with Durant. I would agree with Steven. The only way the Knicks are getting a meeting with Kevin Durant is if they pay money and get in line at one of his signings. Steven also writes, Curry is having the best season ever. He's above average on defense, and he's the best shooter of all time. Sober up. I don't know if he's having the best season ever, but he's having a pretty darn good season. Greg writes, Mark, did you watch TMT and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with your kids? Did you see Mello cameo? I don't know. First of all, I don't think my kids are really that into seeing live action. It has to be a cartoons at this point still. They do like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoons, and also the I don't know, the live action turtles kind of scare me also. Don't they look kind of scary to you?
No, but I just don't get the point of, hey, we're gonna make a live action movie, but we're gonna computer animate everybody.
Is that what it is?
Well, all the turtles and all the bad guys are computer animated. So it's like, what's the point of doing live action if you're going to computer animate everything?
Hey, could you rewind the recording and then just edit in on Brink of Sounding? We had the exact same conversation, so we don't have to continue this conversation.
Steven writes, have you guys noticed that LeBron is no jumper now?
Yeah.
I think LeBron's way more tired than he's letting on or that people are talking about. But I mean, if you look at the minutes he's played, they're insane. He's already played, I think, the 5th most playoff minutes ever.
I think he already has like he's second most all time in triple doubles in playoffs. But I think like he's like halfway to Magic Johnson, but he's second of all time. Rich writes, Jay, are you going to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
Eventually, but I'm not going to see it in the movies. I haven't even seen the first one yet.
Did you see the old ones?
I think I saw the first 2.
Is there more than 2? I thought it was like the first one, then it was with the Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, and then there's the third one is like a train wreck, and that's the one I haven't seen.
Oh.
I heard that one was done on like no budget, and you could see like the gap between like in their armpits. You could see like the human under it. Like I heard
I want to see that if that's true. Rich, how much are you enjoying watching JR brick shot after shot?
So much.
I would agree with that. Everyone's talking about how much better JR got. I don't think he got that much better in Cleveland. I think it's nice playing with LeBron, but he's still not. He's still JR.
Yeah.
Alex says, saw Jeff Teague for Nerlens Noel rumors today. Is there anything the Knicks could offer to get Teague, and would you guys want him even if he's a free agent in 2017? So let's start the first part. Teague for Noel. You think that's a good trade for Philly?
Yes. They really need a point guard.
Yeah, no, I like that trade. That would be it. I mean, I would rather get rid of Okafor than Noel, but yeah. And you think, would you take Teague for 1 year? What would you offer?
For Atlanta, though, like, I guess you think Millsap or Horford's leaving.
Millsap's gone. Yeah. I think Atlanta's going to be falling apart, so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense to. I mean, Noel isn't that good, but at least he's a lot younger. Millsap and Horford are both 30.
Yeah.
Atlanta should blow it up.
Going young makes sense anyway. Noel's he could be a pretty good player. He just hasn't really developed an offense yet.
I just looked it up. LeBron's played the 4th most playoff minutes ever at over 8,000, which is like 4 extra seasons.
Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Can I guess them? You have the list in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Not in order, but I'd say Jordan?
No.
I guess
Jordan is 12th.
Wow. Is it the Celtics in the like the 60s? Any of those guys?
No.
Magic?
No.
Stockton?
Nope.
Kareem?
Yeah, he's 2.
Yeah. Not Wilt, right?
No, he's 8.
Kareem,
Magic's 9, by the way.
Okay. Kareem, definitely not Larry Bird, which probably made you cry.
He's 14th.
14th.
So you got Kareem.
Thank you for recapping that.
The other 2 are...
Wait, no. Chill. I'm going to take the rest of the hour to figure this out.
I was going to give you a little hint.
I don't need hints, Jay.
Okay.
I can figure this out. Let me say, I really thought it would have been Jordan. Would it be Scottie Pippen?
5th.
Yeah, because he played a little longer.
LeBron actually just passed him in Game 1 of the Finals.
Where's Ray Allen on the list? Oh,
Ray Allen is way down there, 25th.
Duncan.
Duncan is number 1.
Duncan is 1?
He's actually played 1,200 more playoff minutes than LeBron.
Holy shit. Okay, so I'm missing number 3 would have to be... You're
going to smack yourself when you hear it.
Oh, God damn it.
It's pretty easy.
Hey, who is it?
Kobe.
Oh, God. That's pretty bad. Patrick writes, can Jeff Hornacek be the new Jerry Sloan or even a poor man's... he played under him. Sure.
I hope if he's the new Jerry Sloan, that would be amazing.
Played under Jerry Sloan. I don't think it was a given that any of the other choices were so much better than Jeff Hornacek. I wanted Tibbs because of the defensive element of things, but I think Hornacek could be a good coach. He has a great pedigree. He's had a lot of experience on some great coaches.
He was a decent player on some really good teams.
I mean, the knock would be that he lost the locker room, or like in Phoenix. But Phoenix, they made so many bad moves anyway.
That team got decimated by injuries, and then he lost the locker room.
Yeah. Jerry writes, any chance we can get Sean Livingston? He's been a backup in the last 2 teams, and he would be the best point guard we had in 20 years. They have Livingston through next year. And I don't know what we possibly can offer to get Livingston.
Yeah, there's no way he would leave that. I mean, it's like, hey, you can play 15 minutes a game and win championships.
Yeah. Some quick questions from the show from the week that I thought might be worth asking Jay. What would be a greater disappointment? Going 2-5 in the finals or having the best all-time regular season and not winning the title?
Right.
Which would be worse? Going 2-5 in the finals or your Golden State blowing it?
Blowing it this year?
Yes. So what is more embarrassing? Not winning the title after winning 73 games, so blowing it.
Yeah.
Or if you're LeBron, going 2-5 in the finals.
I mean, you're assuming that I'm calling myself the chosen one and getting it tattooed on my body and answering the phone as the king, right?
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4,
Yeah.
not 5.
Yeah, that.
I don't know. I feel like it would actually be worse to win 73 games and not win the title. He's still gone to 7 goddamn finals.
Yeah.
How many? Predict now. How many finals does LeBron go to in his career?
Well, I think he's almost a lock for next year.
Yeah.
Probably the year after. I'd say he makes 2 more.
I say it's 10.
This is his 7th?
Yeah.
10's, I mean, yeah, I guess 9. So 10 isn't that far-fetched.
That would be insane to go to 10. I mean, also, he'd be at 2-8, which is ridiculous also. But go to 10 finals.
If he made 10, it would probably mean 9 in a row.
It'd be absurd.
Yeah.
Okay. What else I want to ask from the week I thought was good? We did the Durant one. Was anything else good? I guess maybe there wasn't anything else good to ask you.
So, Kevin wrote us a really nice article about free agents coming up that the Knicks should keep an eye on.
You want to get some highlights from the article?
Sure. Anyway, it's on the full article is on the New York Knicks Podcast.com. It's a 2-part article, and he covers the top 5 free agents the Knicks should get. So, do you want to guess who some of these guys are?
Sure. You're assuming I didn't read the article?
You didn't, right?
I may not have known the article was there.
And sorry it took us so long to put it up. I've been having a crazy week. He sent it to us like 6 days ago. We're dicks.
Jay, how are we going to get people to write stuff first if you don't post it right away, Jay? You should be like, listen, boss at work, F you. I got to post something to my free podcast I do. I'm going to say Connolly's on there.
No.
Ooh, Clarkson?
No.
Bazemore?
Yes.
Is that a yes or no? Should get him?
That is a yes. We should get him.
Okay. Who are the others? Instead of making me keep guessing.
Whiteside?
No.
You don't want Whiteside?
I don't want Whiteside. I absolutely don't want Whiteside. I think he's a little overrated, and he's a head case. Do we need more head cases on this team?
Fournier?
Yeah. You love him?
I like him. I don't like him, but I like him. I'd be happy. I mean, he'd probably be better than any shooting guard we've had in a while.
That's fair.
The other 2 are Alan Crabb.
Yeah, won't be bad.
And Harrison Barnes.
I like Barnes.
Mm-hmm. So,
someone's gonna give him do you think someone's gonna give Barnes a max contract?
Well, if you read the article, he goes into why we should get them, what their projected salary will be, a whole bunch of stuff. It's a very detailed, very good article.
Well, do you think someone's going to give Barnes a max contract?
I think they might.
I mean, he hasn't been that amazing on Golden State.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to be.
No, he doesn't. That the whole thing. I mean, he's kind of like a Harden, a guy that you can get, and he'll emerge as a much better player when you get him. Like, he hasn't had a chance to lead a team, but he could lead a team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that'd be a pretty interesting guy for the Knicks to get.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if you would think his numbers would shoot up.
Yeah, or he'd be exposed.
Right. I don't know. I feel like he's a very good player that just there's not enough balls for everyone to get their shots. So.
Yeah, no, I would take a chance on him. What did we learn today, Jay?
We learned that even though absolutely nothing happened, we did an hour-and-a-half show.
In fairness, we didn't do the show last week, so.
I didn't think so. I was wondering why we had emails from like 11 days ago, and then I realized we skipped last week.
Yeah, I think we're on the skipping every other week shit.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's pretty much no way we're recording next week unless something actually happens this week. I mean, I guess if the finals are over, do we record next week to talk?
We'll see. I don't want to make any promises.
When's the draft? The Knicks aren't participating in.
I don't care.
It's end of June, I think. Okay. We learned that Hornacek it only goes up from Rambis, basically.
Yes.
And the offense can't get slower, has to get faster. He was saying how the offense might get so fast that we have to slow it down a little bit. And at that point, I kind of wanted to say, Hornacek, slow down there, man.
Wait, how does that work?
I don't know. You're talking about how the offense
Just
can go
don't
so
make
fast.
it. If it's so fast that you need to slow it down, don't make it that fast to begin with.
I don't know. He just was like, we're going to speed them up. Then we might have to put the brakes on a little bit.
Okay, well, why don't you just speed them up to the right speed to begin with?
I also don't get the whole, I'm just going to explain the triangle to them. People have been trying for that for the last 2 years. No one on the roster seems to get the triangle. I really assume when you watch Hornacek's system, it will not resemble the triangle we play with. There'll be some elements of it.
Yeah.
There'll be spacing, but it'll be a much more high tempo offense. And I think he's kind of like Phil's like, just call whatever you're doing the triangle and make me look good.
Okay.
It's like the same way Golden State has some elements of the triangle.
Are we done?
No, Jay. I want to know what we learned today for the next hour. And we learned that we made an offer Kevin Durant cannot refuse to come to New York.
That is true.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will be back soon. Go to the New York Knicks Podcast.com. Buy some shirts. Support the show. They're on the website, too. They're high quality, and they're good price. And if you throw in an extra $5, you get a Brink of Sanity shirt. That's our comedy podcast. BrinkofSanityShow.com.
It's funnier than how many shirts Jay has left.
Goodbye, everybody.
I cut my hair too short. Screw you, Jay, Steven.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go.
This is the end.
Say goodbye. You better go away.
I'm gonna leave you.
It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl.
Goodbye, 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 everybody.
Cabela's is coming to Northern Virginia with a spectacular new store in Gainesville. Find everything you need for hunting, fishing, camping, and shooting sports, plus much more. Join us for our grand opening celebration Thursday, March 9th at 10 a.m. Be one of the first 500 in line and receive a Cabela's gift card worth up to $500, plus a chance to win one of 3 Remington firearms. See store for details. Don't miss Cabela's grand opening in Gainesville, located off I-66 and Highway 29 near Virginia Gateway.